perspective.
So what's the dream? See, now we're back in chapter 1. What's the dream? I don't even know the name of the numbers of chapters, but unearth your dream. What's the dream? What's your dream with time?
That it's my own. And that
so
I can.
What does that look like? Does that look like self-employment? Does that look like, what does it look like?
Still trying to figure that out.
I don't believe you.
No, I think this is a situation where I know.
I think you're trying to figure out how to do it. I don't think you're trying to figure out what it is. Let me just clarify. You know what I mean? Because if you put the how before the what, you'll never win this game.
Yeah.
So what? What's the dream?
I'm so scared still to say it out
She won't even tell. She won't tell me. Come on, I'm in your light bulb circle, girlfriend.
I will say that I have. I have a lot of whys to why I want to do what I want to do, but I don't know how to make that happen yet.
I don't. So I don't even care why right now. The way I go into why. So how's gotten me in trouble so many times, because there's something about the analytical mind that tries to figure out the how before the what. And I think it has everything to do with the way that, most of us are in our 30s, 40s. A lot of people who listen to this will also be in their 50s and 60s. There'll be some people in their 20s. So depending on when you were raised, you were raised with a very strong lean to the analytical mind, which is it's a good part of the mind. It's like not terrible, but it's not higher consciousness. It's not subconscious. So analysis is great. How is an analysis problem? Great to go for the analytical mind once we know what we're trying to do. Premature to go to it to discover what, because it will put limitations based on past experience and based on past relationship. So again, I know if my future is going to be bigger and brighter than my past, it's going to require new relationships. Always. It's going to always require a different way of using money or currency. Always. Because why? Because money's just a modern way we use energy. So if I'm going to move more energy, my relationship with moving more energy is going to have to change, right? So if energy is money, then it's going to change that. So what do you want to do with your time?
I want to invest it in a way that's going to make a difference. I truly, and Caitlin, a lot of the things that you were just saying, and finding the ways in which I am effective is exactly what I want to do.
Okay.
Finding those things that I can do.
How can you be, this is something I always come back to. I was just coaching a C-level corporate business guy, right? On really getting super into the experience of how can you be useful, right? Just how can you be useful right now that will exchange value in the marketplace? But you don't have to even look at how to exchange value in the marketplace. You can just really focus on being useful. And now there's higher degrees of utility, right? So any one of you could make me green juice. I don't have any doubt about that. But my guess is there's higher degrees of utility here, right? So what is enjoyable to you where you feel the most useful at the higher levels of utility, where you're basically there's more circuits in you lighting up?
Are you wanting an answer?
Of course.
Okay.
Imagine if I'd let you off the hook the first time. We wouldn't
have even
found our way
you're
to
not
here.
letting me off. I appreciate it. I appreciate the challenge. It's really making me think about it.
This is why people go into courses, right? Is laser coaching. Yeah. It's because otherwise what happens is you stop prematurely and then your awareness doesn't go into the ongoing questioning mode. But if you go back and listen to this a few times, you'll actually see your own thinking patterns, right? And then you'll be able to sort of move deeper into the, if anyone here harvests, I was just trying to harvest some dandelion roots without any tools out in the forest the other day, which was tricky. I was just on my bike and I'm like, ooh, dandelions. And I'd been fasting for 20 hours and I was like, those look really good. I really want the roots. And I couldn't get them out without the tools, right? So the tools of questioning help us go deeper into the root of it. So how can you, how are you, when you're the most useful, how do you get lit up? Right? So when you feel the most lit up, really, the better way of saying it is, what are you doing?
Yeah. I I will say that I've been noticing that lately, that I get lit up when I am defending the defenseless, or trying to fight for justice for anyone. But it's very hard for me to divest that from the ways in which that can also damage me because of the bleeding heart. So I know the things that light me up, but those happen to be the same things that drain me. So
Okay.
yeah.
So when you look at that, and then, so just run it through fire, really run that through fire element, and the exercises in there, and where does this meet the marketplace is the question. Okay, anyone can work from anywhere. That's one thing that COVID taught people. Like, I have been working from anywhere since 1996. So I was like, wow, that took people a long time to get that memo. Be it what it may, people got that memo. So where can you be useful? Like, where can you be useful to nonprofits? Where can you be useful to, it might not be directly interfacing with, you can be a consultant to nonprofits, or you can do a ton of freelance work for paid or whatever, for-profit and nonprofit organizations that are in alignment with the cause. So it's like, where do your skills then, or where do your relationships then, and this is fire element, like this is building strategy. Because until you do that, you're looking at the challenge, like it's going back to work is challenging. It's like, no, what's challenging is that you've sacrificed your dream and you're wanting to experience the same fulfillment as if you hadn't, by going back to your old job. And I could be totally wrong and off base here, but like, that's what it sounded something like that to me. Mm-hmm. And in that way, that doesn't win. That's the path of the martyr, because you're not only, it's like you're giving your life to the job, which is the cause, but it's not in alignment with the way that you want to live. Now, if you can work within the structure of the job and the cause, often there's a ton of leeway in negotiations. If you can be useful, you can use, I don't really care. Like, not everybody is cut out to run their own thing at all. Right. And thank gosh, there's people who like jobs. Right. Or I'd have nobody to hire. So it's just a question of like, what is the higher structure of the relationship where you get to offer more value and experience more freedom? And that is what you can also build strategy around. And that's where the burning desire goes. So it's no longer going into, bitching and moaning about how challenging these times are. Like, it's like in the history of the world, like most times are challenging in one way or another, either because everyone's half asleep or because everybody's waking up. Like, they're both pretty challenging. Like before COVID, right? Everyone was like way more asleep. That I found way more challenging personally than everybody waking up. I'm finding this a lot less challenging in some ways. So again, it's perspective and alignment. Okay, Erin. You got some homework.
I've got some work to do. Thank you.
The good news is we're in fire element right now. So
we are.
It's perfect. We extended it an extra week because we needed it. So
yeah, don't be afraid to do that and put in like that whole like one of my business coaches, Tyler, who I mentioned in the book, Tyler Norton. He's like, smoke should be coming out your ears. Like that's what it should feel like. It's not. Fire element it burns, it's hot, it's sharp, it's intense, like by definition. And that's how you have to use your thinking apparatus. It's like, you've really got to fine tune your thinking apparatus.